Video games are an art. I may not know if esports are technically a sport or not, but there's no denying this. Every game, whether it's good or bad, it's created in such a way to create an emotion within you. Some of the best examples I can think of are the 2D art in Cuphead, or the landscapes of Elden Ring. It's clear that art directors put a ton of thought into creating these worlds. Maybe we can look at art in games another time, but today I wanted to focus on something a little different. Rather than seeing art in a game, what if the game is art? And no, not like an art critique would think.
Oh, yes, now this is a work of art.
No, I mean an art game, where the entire purpose of the game is to focus on the arts. Sure, there's still a game there, but you're not really focused on that. I think Justin McElroy had a good way to describe it. Think of a game as a basic building. Sure, some can be pretty or make you go, wow, but that's about it. At the end of the day, it's just another building. I mean, there's literally thousands of them. Meanwhile, an art game is a sculpture. These sculptures use the same materials as buildings, only its entire purpose for existing is to create a reaction within someone. So, what's an example of an art game? Recently, I came across the game Hohokum, released back in 2014, that focuses on you controlling a string of colors around, and that's pretty much it. There isn't a story, a correct way to play. You're really just exploring the world and seeing what it has to offer, if anything, to you. I played it, and my initial thoughts were that this game doesn't make any sense. Granted, it's an art game, so the meaning of the game has to be derived by your own personal connection to it. Who knows, you might be able to get something out of it that I wasn't. Now, I completed this game and was left underwhelmed. I kept seeing this game as, well, a game. I wanted there to be a story or a path to follow when there simply wasn't one. You can go to all these different levels and there is an official end, but this game isn't about that. It's about appreciating the style of each world and the overall art of gaming. After beating this game, I'd say give it a try. It's not a long game and does have some incredible art in it. Not to mention these little alligator guys that just tell you if you're doing something wrong. Of course, don't expect anything mind-blowingly crazy, but it's still a good time overall. So some art games can get past with being a game that's just for the art. Hohokum delivered a fun experience that was easy to control, had a definitive end, and was still aesthetically pleasing. Now, could there be any art game that just do nearly the complete opposite? No. Nor Play With Your Food is another art game that's essentially focused purely on food. You're given 20 different levels, or plates, and tasked with simply playing around with different foods. Just like before, there isn't necessarily a correct way to play this game. You can try to create a beautiful dish, or just break out the torch and light everything on fire. Unlike before, where I was looking for a story, this game made it clear that there wasn't one. Overall, this game is enjoyable, albeit only for a little bit. You can easily beat this game in just about 2 hours, and that's if you're playing with all the tools in every level. It also doesn't look bad. The models are all created well, and the effects create a sense of, dare I say, that chaos we've been trying to chase. Thank you, yeah, thanks. Thank you, subscribe, thank you, yeah. I know. But overall, where this game fails to impress me is, it doesn't feel like I'm supposed to appreciate the art of the food. Yeah, I know it said it looks good, but this feels more like a sandbox of using different tools than actually enjoying the aesthetic. So that leads me to the main question then. What makes a game considered an art game? Does it need a story? Should it play like a traditional game? Well, I think there's 3 perfect examples of art games that explain how these games can work. Everything, Journey, and That Dragon Cancer. These games all have very different energies from each other. In Everything, you can literally turn into anything in the game, from a deer to a whale to a mountain to the universe itself. Meanwhile, small narration from Alan Watts plays in the background, talking about philosophy and life. No story, a mechanic that I haven't seen in many games in the past, and an art style that isn't revolutionary. What makes it an art game, then, is its focus on exploring the world around you. Journey is just about the same, only there does seem to be a hint of a story, with you traversing a large desert. Here, it's the same idea. The game becomes an art game because you're able to focus on the world around you. You're also able to make meaningful connections with other players. In Journey, you're able to come across other live players and solve problems together. In fact, the game even encourages this by introducing certain trophies. And then there's That Dragon Cancer. This is a game I want to return to and talk more about in the future, but as it relates to art, there's two aspects that are important to talk about. First, the game itself has a unique art style about it, taking a very polygon-y look to it. Every level is memorable because of the way it's presented. I could show you a single shot from any of these levels, and chances are, if you've played the game before, you know what happens in each. Some are more simple than others, but they all have a powerful emotion behind them. Now, the other aspect that makes this game art is the emotion behind it. Needless to say, That Dragon Cancer focuses on some heavy material, some of which I don't have time to cover in this video. This game focuses on Ryan and Amy Green traversing through life with their son, Joel, as he fights through cancer. It's a tough game to get through due to the story, but it's one that needs to be heard. The game itself may not have the highest of graphics or the best of controls, but what it does have is emotion. And that's what art is. It doesn't matter what you do, whether it's making a video game, or writing a short story, or dancing in front of a crowd. The point of art is to create an emotion within someone. It could bring you joy, confusion, sadness, but as long as it's created a reaction within you, it's done its job as art. If art games are your emotion at play, then art is emotion. I'd highly recommend looking at a list of different art games and trying some of them out. Who knows, you may just get something out of it that someone else didn't. Now, that's just what I think about art games, but what about you? What are your opinions on art games? Let me know in the comments. Anyway guys, thank you for watching this video, and remember to chase the chaos.